Hey guys, welcome back. I want to take a couple of minutes and give you a review of the Rythmik LVX12 subwoofer. I've owned this sub for about a year and a half, and I had considered doing a video when I first got it to give you guys an unboxing, but I thought it would be better to wait until I've had it set up for quite a period of time so I could give you my impressions of how it sounds and how it integrates into the setup. So I hope you find this video helpful. So first of all, one thing you should know is that while this is the LVX12 model, the LVX12 is actually no longer sold by Rythmik. So it is now sold a new version called the FVX12. It is nearly identical from what I can tell to the LVX12. The only differences that I can see are that the cone has been changed from a paper cone on this model to an aluminum cone on the FVX12. Also, the FVX12, I believe, has a slightly higher output. But for day-to-day usage, in terms of the dimensions, the internals, the technology, all of that is the same. So I think the impressions that I have here of the LVX12 should be relevant if you are considering buying the FVX12. So another thing, if you are looking or considering buying this sub or another Rythmik sub, you are probably looking, or there's a good chance you are looking at subs from other companies such as HSU or PSA, maybe SVS or Monolith, perhaps some others. And so I want to give you some of my thoughts on why I chose Rythmik versus those others. And, just to start out, the first thing, like I'm sure you're doing your research, you're doing your homework, you're trying to understand more about Rythmik. And I did the same thing. I read anything I could about their subs, all of their subs, as many models as I could, because I couldn't go into a store and see this. I couldn't hear it. I couldn't, do a walk around and really get, hands-on impressions of the sub. So I read as much as I could. And everything that I read, indicated just top-notch quality, very good performance, really put me at ease in terms of buying the sub and quite frankly, spending, quite a bit of money. I wanted to have a high degree of confidence that I was getting a very good product. The second reason, maybe a bit unorthodox, but if you go to the Rythmik Audio website, one of the things you'll notice is that the website looks like it has not been updated in probably 15 or 20 years. And one of the first things you might say is, gosh, why don't they spend a little time? Why don't they spend a little effort updating the website? And that's fair. But I had a slightly different takeaway from that. For me, it showed me that they're really not focused on spending money on marketing. They're really not focused on, making their website as flashy as they can and something eye-catchy. Really, it showed me that they are laser focused on making the best subs and the best product that they possibly can. And to me, that was a positive. The website has everything that you need. It has nothing that you don't. Yeah, it's not the most modern site. It's not the flashiest thing. But to me, it showed all of their time and their resources are dedicated on making the best possible products that they can and letting the products speak for themselves when they're in the hands of their owners. Let me spend a couple of minutes just talking about my setup, my situation, and my impressions of this sub. So first of all, I have this sub in what I would call a medium-sized room. It is approximately 3,000 cubic feet. So it is a decent size. It's not a wide open space like an open living room, but it is a big space, and I wanted to make sure that I filled the space with plenty of sound. Now, one of the main considerations that I had when I was picking out this sub was trying to determine if I wanted to buy a 12-inch sub or a 14-inch sub, or maybe dual subs. And I'm trying to understand what I needed in the room, how much power I needed to really fill out this room with immersive sound, and really be able to support the listening environment that I have. And I will tell you, as you probably already know, depending on what you read and who you listen to, there are a wide range of impressions on this. That you need a certain amount of power, you need a certain amount of size, to support certain rooms or certain listening environments. And I will just tell you from my perspective, I'm not the type of person that, needs their neighbor next door to hear what they're listening to. I don't need my neighbor down the street to hear what I'm listening to. What I value in my listening experience is really versatility. And I wanted a sub that was clean. I wanted a sub that was tight. And I wanted a sound that was responsive. Those were the three main elements that I wanted, and I wanted a sub that could do those very, very well. The best way that I can describe, my experience with this sub, and I would assume Rythmik in general, is that this sub is very versatile and very complementary in multiple scenarios. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is when you need this sub to hit hard, when you're watching a movie and you need it to rattle the room, it can do that. When you're listening to different kinds of music and you need this sub to be more musical, and have great versatility in terms of its range, it can do that. When you need this sub to almost blend into the background and become very subtle but supportive, this sub will do that. So that versatility and that ability to excel consistently in multiple but very different environments was very important to me. And I will tell you, this sub does them exceptionally well. I had very high expectations of this sub before I bought it, and I can tell you today, after owning it for roughly a year and a half, a little more than a year and a half, my experience has exceeded my expectations. If nothing else, I want you to be able to hear that and have some confidence as you may be considering buying a Rythmik product. And to be clear, Rythmik is not supporting this. They're not sponsoring this. I have nothing to do with them. I am simply a customer that, at the end of the day, feels like I got a tremendous value for what I paid. I got a very, very good product. And listen, these subs aren't cheap. I'll be the first to say that. You have to spend a little more money. If you want to go buy a cheaper sub out there, you can do it. So if you're considering Rythmik, I think you have moved up that price to value curve, and you are looking, to spend more money but get better quality. And I can tell you from my impressions, I think Rythmik probably offers one of the best, if not the best, value propositions on the market. So to wrap this up again, if you are considering buying a Rythmik sub, I hope this video gives you some confidence to buy the FVX12. So I appreciate you watching. If you like this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And thanks for watching.